Welcome back, everybody. Pick Talk, best sports betting podcast on YouTube. Week 9 is in the books. Week 10 is here. We're going to break down every NFL game for you guys piece by piece. Week 9, we did go 8-6. We are in the positive column. Overall, in the past 9 weeks, we are 63-69. I think this is the week we're going to go ahead and move that positive column in the overall record. So I got some locks for you guys. I got some leans for you guys. Let's go and get in between for you guys. Let's hop into these games and see what we got. First game here, we do have your Las Vegas Raiders at your Denver Broncos, the AFC West matchup here. We do have their Broncos are 10-point favorites over under 42.5. Broncos and Raiders coming off the loss 30-29 in overtime versus Jacksonville, and Denver coming off the win 18-15 against the Houston Texans after knocking CJ Stroud out early in that game. Head-to-head, these teams played last year, haven't played this year yet in the divisional matchup. Last year, Donkeys did take that 29-19, as well as covering the 5-point spread they had them at. The win-loss record here for these two teams straight up is 8-2. Same with the spread. Against the spread, ATS is 8-2 as well. 6-4 to the overs on the over-under. Broncos at 7-2. They are riding a 6-game win streak here. They are coming in hot and ready. Raiders coming off the overtime loss. We already talked about it. Broncos defense is a little banged up. They have Surtain out for the second game in a row, and Mims on the offense is limited. Broncos, though, they are undefeated 4-0 at home this year. So they are hot, and they have the hot hand at home. I don't see why they don't win this game. But that 10-point spread kind of does scare me. We tend to lean away from those double-digit spreads. But I do have some info for you guys right here. The under has hit 7 of the last Raiders' 8 road games and 8 of Denver's last 11 overall games overall. So I don't really see how these teams score over 42 points combined. We do talk about primetime under spots, and I do feel like this is a spot for those primetime unders, if you ask me. So let's go ahead and ride the primetime under spot. Divisional primetime unders 42.5. Lock it in and load it in. First game of the week. Let's move on to the second. We have the Falcons here at the Indianapolis Colts. It's actually not at Indianapolis. It's going to be a Berlin game. They are kicking off overseas, so it's going to be like a 6 a.m. Western kickoff. Atlanta is 3-5 coming in here, and Indy 7-2, probably one of the best teams in the NFL, not only the AFC South. So Falcons are coming off the loss last week against the Patriots 24-23. Colts are coming off the loss against the Steelers 27-20. It's tough to play in Pittsburgh. Colts did realize that pretty fast as well. So they thought they were going to come back, didn't. And yeah, that's how it is when you play the Steelers, baby. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and head-to-head here, 3-2 straight up and 2-3 against the spread. Colts hold that. 2-3 to the over-under as well. So this is going to be Indy's first international appearance since 2016. Almost been 10 years since those guys been overseas. They're probably going to be excited to see it. Coming off a loss, they gotta fill their needs. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Atlanta on the other side, it's only their second overseas game in franchise history. So both these teams aren't over there a lot. I could see this game getting out really slow, really sluggish. And I could see low scoring. I mean, unders are probably lean here as well. Unders have hit 9 out of the last 11 overseas games. So if you guys do like that, I kind of like that side too, because the whole Falcons team is questionable. Penix, London, Bates. Who knows what's going to happen with that offense. Defense too, Bates, like I said, he's back there. And the Colts have been dominant. So I don't know if I want to trust the Falcons, but a 6-point spread overseas, no home field advantage. Unders could be a play. We're going to ride with the Falcons at plus 6.5. It's up to 6.5 now, so people are betting the Colts. We're going to go away with what people are betting. Give me the Colts 6.5. Next game, first game on the US of A territory. We got Baltimore at Minnesota. Baltimore is 4-point favorites over under 49. Both these teams are coming off impressive wins. Ravens did beat the Dolphins 28-6. Not really impressive team-wise, but with Lamar coming back for the first game, that is impressive. Minnesota, same thing. They were like 9-point underdogs last week, or was like 8.5-point dogs or something like that. And they beat the Lions outright. McCarthy comes back 27-24. Maybe he is the truth. Maybe he wants to show people he is the fucking truth. But head to head, these two teams are straight up even 2-2. Vikings do hold the against the spread record at 1-3. And the last time these two teams played was 4 years ago. Baltimore did win in overtime by 3 points. Minnesota did cover that 6-point spread. Yeah, McCarthy seems like he is and looks like he is the truth. And Lamar too, he's back, first game back, dominates, man. So I could see Ravens keeping things rolling here. Aaron Jones was back for one game for Minnesota. He's already back hurt again. There's probably a reason why the senior is on the end of his name. But yeah, I don't know if I want to trust the Minnesota off a big win. It's kind of hard to bet these teams that, I beat the Lions last week. Now I got to play the Ravens this week. I don't see why they don't keep. Yeah, I'm not dealing it. I'm not doing it. So if anything, I do lead in the Ravens here. Ravens over in the last 6 of the last 8 games, and same with the Vikings, over 7 the last 8 of their games as well. Overs could be a play here. I don't really know if I want to play that side of it, though. I think the Ravens are going to keep the hot hand rolling, and they're probably going here and win by a touchdown. So I think the right side of this game is going to be the Ravens -4. Give me the Ravens -4. Next game here, Patriots at the Buccaneers. We have Patriots dogs, actually. Buccaneers 2.5-point favorites, over under 48. New England's coming in here at first in the AFC East at 7-2, and Tampa first in the NFC South at 6-2. Yeah, two powerhouse teams right here, man. New England has coming off that win against Falcons. We just talked about that. Tampa Bay is coming off the bye. The last time they played was the Saints. They decimated them 23-3. And the last time these two teams played was 2021. Buccaneers took the win, did not take the cover, but the Patriots do hold the straight-up record at 3-1 here for this series. Patriots are 4-0 against the spread. There is, I want to say there are some key injuries on both sides of the ball here. And on defense, the Patriots have some concerns too. So look for Baker to be tossing the rock and putting some points up. I did read that over has hit in the 5 of the last Patriots game and 4 of the last Buccaneers game. So the over is a hot hand, a hot commodity on this game right here. I don't see why the over doesn't hit, especially with the Buccaneers coming off a bye, going back home, Patriots running on the 6-game winning streak. Buccaneers are going to look to stop them. I see a shootout here. I think the over-under was 48. Give me the over 48. I think that's probably one of my favorite plays this week. Yeah, I feel like the over is the right side of the player. We got the next game here. You're going to be your Jacksonville Jaguars at your Houston Texans. Your Houston Texans are going to be a 1-point favorite. Yeah, 1-point favorite here. Surprising they are a 1-point favorite. Who even knows if Stroud's going to play this week? He's in concussion protocol. They don't even know if he's going to be available. So that's kind of crazy, especially after Jacksonville came off that win last week. So Jacksonville 5-3 here. Houston 3-5, both in the AFC South. It's going to be a divisional game. Jacksonville coming off that loss or the win in overtime last week against the Raiders, and Houston coming off that loss. Broncos knocked CJ out early and often. That's what they say. So they kept it rolling. They got the dub there against Houston. Houston took that L. Fuck. All right, let's move on to this next game on the slate here. We got your Jacksonville Jaguars at your Houston Texans. Houston Texans 1-point favorite here, over under 38 points. Jacksonville's coming in here at 5-3 in the AFC South. Houston's coming in here at 3-5 in the AFC South. We do have a divisional matchup here. It's kind of crazy to me to see the Texans actually still pick by 1, considering they don't even know if CJ Stroud is going to be able to play or if he's going to be available or whatever. Stroud is in concussion protocol. Last week, we did talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars taking the win in overtime versus the Raiders, and Houston CJ Stroud got knocked out early. Like we were talking about, they lost that to the Denver Broncos last week, 18-15. Last time these two teams played, they already played this year, early in the year. Jacksonville did win by 7. They did cover that 1.5-point spread. But Texans hold the straight-up record here at 7-3. It's probably why I'm guessing the Texans are still favored here. And I mean, they're third, second. Something's fishy here, man. So I don't really know if I like the sides here. I'm going to take a side. But the over-under at 38 is very low. Does suggest a tight, lower-scoring game. And if Stroud doesn't play, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know how their value isn't with the Jaguars on this game. Unders could be a play. Like I said, that total is very low. So I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the Jacksonville money line. There's two shitty teams. I guess I'll go with the shittier one. I don't know. The one that has a quarterback, actually. So, yeah, we'll go with the Jacksonville Jaguars money line. I think it's at plus 105. Yeah, let's run with that one. So, next game here, we got your Cleveland Browns at your New York Jets. Browns 2.5-point favorites. You have over under of 38. Two dumpster fire organizations. I mean, what do you really want out of this game? Cleveland's coming in here at 2-6 in the AFC North, 4th in the AFC North, and New York's 1-7, 4th in the AFC East. Cleveland, they had a bye week last week. They did come off that loss 2 weeks ago to the Patriots. Same thing. Both these teams are coming off bye weeks. Jets are coming off a bye week. They had that win against the Bengals 2 weeks ago by 1 point. And the last time these two teams played was 2023. Browns did hold that victory at 37-20 and covering that 7-point spread that they were picked by. Yeah, both teams coming off a bye here. I believe this game opened up at -1.5 Jets before the Jets unloaded shop this week. So, there's another total that's very low. It's kind of catching my eye like, hey, maybe unders, both these teams don't put up points. Yeah, so the only way the Jets put up points is if Garrett Wilson's come back, and who knows if he's going to come back. He's still questionable. I don't trust really either of these teams. I don't trust either of these franchises. Under's probably a good play here, but if I had to choose a side, I'd probably just roll with the Browns money line. There's no way I'm touching this New York team. I mean, I could see them getting fired up and saying, oh, we traded everybody. Now let's win. But I don't see it. Give me the Browns money line. Next game here, Saints at the Panthers. Your Panthers are 5.5-point favorites. And then we have over under 39.5. Saints are coming off of a loss to the Rams here, 34-10. Panthers as well coming off a big win here against Green Bay in Lambeau Field, 16-13. Head-to-head, these last times these two teams played was last year, and the Panthers did squeak out a 1-point win, being 7-point underdogs right here. You guys can see, but the Saints do hold that straight up 6-4 record. But the Saints are a different team this year. The Panthers are a different team this year. I believe the Saints are 2-7 against the spread. Panthers 6-3. Yeah, I mean, Rico Dowell might be single-handedly saving the Panthers season, if you ask me. I think he's the only reason this team has 5 wins, because once Chuba went out, things started to change around. So this is another low-scoring total game right here. Like I said, the total's under 40 points, still at 39.5. I don't really see any scoring here either. I mean, Saints, their offense is shit. Carolina, they're good. I mean, they can put up points, but it's still the Panthers. Saints are in a crisis here at 1-8. They do need a win. So I'm not going to take the Panthers at 5.5. I'm not taking the Saints at 5.5. I'm not taking any of that. If I had to choose here, I think I'm going to have to go with the under 40.5 with the total. Oh, now actually it went down to 39.5 now. So it was at 40.5 last night. We're going to go with where the money's going. Give me the under 39.5. All right, next game here. Giants at your Bears. Giants are 4.5-point dogs. Bears 4.5-point favorites. Over under 47.5. Giants without Scatterbo, they look kind of dull, kind of flat. Dart doesn't really know what to think back there. It looks like they are 2-7 still, and Chicago's coming off a pretty big win against the Bengals with like 30 seconds left on the clock, 50-yard touchdown. That's what the Bengals do. seems like it, and that's just what happens. Giants coming off the loss against San Fran. Mac Jones is balling. What more to expect? Last time these two teams played was in 2022. Giants did take the win and cover. They won by 8, but straight up 5-5 between these two teams. So these two teams are pretty even. Record-wise, not stat-wise, record-wise. Bears 5-3 against the spread this season. Giants 4-5 against the spread this season, and the over has hit 5 out of the last 9 Giant games. Same thing with the Bears, man. The Bears are hot. They've been scoring a lot of points. Look at they've been put 47, 16, 26, 25, 25, 31. Caleb's balling, man. Last week, he threw 280 passing yards, 3 touchdowns versus the Bengals. I know the Bengals are terrible, but the Giants do allow 232 passing yards per game. So, I mean, I could see Caleb having another week for himself. The Bears might really be true. I mean, they got Ben Johnson. I mean, their offense is rolling. The Giants on the road this year, on the other hand, they're 0-5. 0-5 on the road this year. I wouldn't touch them with the spread or with money line or anything. Overs is a good play here. Like I said, these teams do score a lot of points. I could see a lot of points being scored. We're trying to get this record up, baby, and we are taking the Bears money line. I think the Bears money line is like at -192. Anything under 200. If those lines change above 200, we can always parlay it. You know, you can parlay with the other money lines that I have on here, or you can even put like the over on this. So over on the Bears money line, you got some value there. I could see that hitting as well. So yeah, let's run it, dude. Bears money line -192. Next game, and it's going to be the last game of the morning slate here. Another divisional matchup. We got your Buffalo Bills -10 at your Miami Dolphins, over under 49.5. Bills are coming in here at 6-2, second in the AFC East, and Miami 2-7, third in the AFC East. Kind of crazy when there's 4-point win difference between one standing in a conference or division, whatever you want to say. But yeah, Bills 7-3 straight up. Over the past 10 games, they did have that big win against the Chiefs last week at 28-21. Josh Allen showed Mahomes who his daddy was. On the other hand, Lamar showed the Dolphins who their daddy was. Lamar beat him down 28-6. Head-to-head, last time these two teams played was already this year. The Bills did win by 10. Miami did cover the 11 points. That's why I'm pretty much guessing that's why there is a -10 right now, because they did win by 10 last time. This is going to be the second double-digit spread of the week that we ran into. Not a fan of them. I don't really like taking either sides on them. If I had to take a dog, I probably would. In this game, probably not going to. Even if Buffalo and Miami plays Buffalo tough in Miami. So I think the under is probably a good lean here, because Buffalo can go up, control the game, by the run. They have James Cook. They have Josh Allen. Miami's run defense is one of the weaker units in the league. So once they get a couple touchdowns on them, they can just kind of run the clock out. So give me an under 49.5. It's tough to take under on a Bills game, but divisional matchup, like we talk about. I just see the under 49.5 here. I could see like a 21-14. So under 49.5. Let's move on to the later slate, afternoon slate. The first game of the later slate is going to be your Cardinals at your Seahawks. Seahawks are going to be a 6.5-point favorite, and you have over under 45.5. Right here, I think to believe that Jacoby Brissett is becoming the starter of this Cardinals team. Kyler Murray's kicked out of the cockpit. Cardinals coming in here at 3-5, fourth in the NFC West, and Seattle 6-2, first in the NFC West as well. Seattle is on fire. I don't see any team stopping Sam Darnold, man, especially their offense is on fire. Last week, Cardinals did take out Dallas at home. That's pretty impressive if you ask me, because Dallas in Jerry's world, they do have a good record, but they beat them 27-17. They came out hot and ready. Seattle, on the other hand, they went into Washington, decimated them 38-14, covered the spread as well. And then head-to-head, the last time these two teams played, they've already actually played this year since it's divisional. And the Seahawks won 23-20 as being a 1.5-point favorites. straight up 9-1. The Seahawks do hold this record against the two teams, and I see them probably winning again. But I'm not going to take a 6.5 point spread because that 6.5 always scares me with that hook. But I mean, I don't see how they don't. I don't see how Seattle doesn't win here. They've won each of the last 7 games versus Arizona. So, and Seattle's defense is one of the best in the league. They've only allowed 18 and 19 points per games and yards per play over the past couple weeks. If Seattle jumps up ahead and early and often, I expect them to dominate the time possession, use the ground game. They got Kenneth Walker. They got Charbonnet back there. And with the Cardinals coming off a big primetime win, they're probably hoping to build momentum too, but I just really don't see it. Divisional matchup, we're going under again, dude. Give me the under 45.5. I think that's going to be the right side of this game and most of these games because there are a lot of divisional games this week. Let's go and move on to the second game right here. We do have the Rams at the 49ers. It's up from 3.5 last night. It's at 4, -4 Rams, over under 49. Rams are coming off the win versus the Saints, and they're not really tested at all there, 34-10. They did cover the 14.5 point spread, and the Niners are coming off the 10-point victory over the Giants, 34-24. Last time these two teams played, they've already played this year, and San Francisco did take the win 26-23, and that was in overtime, but they also were 8.5 point underdogs. So it's kind of impressive to see that, especially in a divisional game. But with Brock Purdy still questionable, I think Mac Jones is probably going to take this thing for the rest of the year. I mean, why take him out now? He doesn't even have Jennings, Pearsall. I mean, they're both doubtful next week. Dude's balling, man. Just let him keep playing. So on the other side of the ball, we got Matt Stafford. He doesn't have Higbee, and I think they're questionable. I don't think he's playing, but Nakua is questionable as well. So both offenses on these games are a little banged up, and they are hurting offensively. So, but I mean, both these teams are good. It's going to be a good game, man. Niners have won 7 of the last 8 meeting against the Rams, and Rams are 6-3 against the spread this year, and they're usually underdogs on those spreads. So, I mean, they're covering, they're winning outright. I don't see why the Rams don't make this series even, because usually when there's a divisional matchup, they usually split them over the year. It's tough to get 2 wins versus the same opponent in the same year. So I lean under for the divisional games like we talk about, especially the last 4 of the 5 matchups between these two teams have went under, but we're going to stick with the Rams money line. I think that's the right thing. It was at like -192 last time I checked. Anything under 200, we are taking as money lines. And if it does go up, like I said, I'm giving you the unders and overs on these games as well, so you can parlay with them, whatever you like. So if you wanted the Rams money line and the under for the divisional little 2-legger, you go and do the little 2-legger. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it scare you off. So, or you can just take the Rams straight up. Let's go and move on to this next game here. Lions -8.5 at the Commanders, over under 49.5. Detroit, man, they lost that big game against Minnesota last week with McCarthy coming back, 27-24. Washington, Jaden Daniels goes out. Probably shouldn't even been in there at that point. Dude's a dog. He wants to play. I guess they're just going to keep rolling him out there and just big risk, high reward, I guess. They were down 20-some points. So I think that was kind of shitty on the coaching staff to do that to him. But there's injuries known to happen on this field all the time. So last time these two teams played, looks like the playoffs, 45-31. Washington did knock the Lions out of that. So the Lions are going to have a little bit of heat under their belt. So I think the Lions could probably come out. They could probably beat and cover the 8.5. 8.5 seems a little bit too much for me, though. Maybe they don't think Mariota can even run this team on the offense. I mean, McLaurin's out, Jaden Daniels is out, Marshawn Lattimore tore his ACL, out for season. On the other side of the ball, Kirby Joseph, Penei Sewell, they're both questionable. There's a lot of question marks on this game as far as injuries. So I don't know if I want to take a side here. I know Detroit's looking to bounce back after that loss last week, but it's kind of like most of these divisional games, man. I could see these teams getting up. I could see them getting up by like two scores. And like I said, this Detroit backfield, man, Gibbs, Montgomery, why couldn't they get up and just run the clock out? 21 10 final here. Give me the under 49.5. Yeah, we're going to run unders on most of these games. It's high risk, high reward. So give me the under 49.5 on this Detroit-Washington game. Let's go to the next game here. We have your Steelers at your Chargers. Your Chargers are going to be a 3-point home favorite of your over-unders at 44.5. Pittsburgh's coming in here at first in the AFC North at 5-3, and LA's coming in here at second in the AFC West at 6-3. Yeah, so Pittsburgh last week, big win against Indy. Very dominant performance by Aaron Rodgers, knocking probably one of the best teams off in the league. Only had one loss this year, put that second loss in their loss column. On this side of the chart, we got the Chargers here. They did play the Tennessee Titans this week. They really weren't tested that much, but they didn't cover against the Titans. They were 10-point favorites. They won by 7. Last time these two teams played was last year in 2024. Looks like Pittsburgh won by 10 points and covered that 2.5-point spread. Chargers are taking a big blow this week and probably the rest of the year. They lost Joe Alt on the offensive line, offensive tackle. Huge blow to the offensive line, man. I feel bad for Herbert. I feel bad for that team. First-round pick. It kind of looked like it was on purpose, if you ask me. But, hey, what do you know? Chargers, 3-point favorites. It's probably right. Usually home favorites usually get that 3 points. So I think the lines have placed this just right. But the Steelers are coming in hot, dude. Steelers coming in 5-3. As an underdog, they forced 6 turnovers versus Daniel Dimes and the Colts last week. And what they do, they just got Sauce Gardner, dude. So, I mean, if he's playing this week, Herbert should be pretty fucking scared, if you ask me. I think Pittsburgh, especially with their defensive front, can exploit this offensive line for the Chargers. I'll take the team that just beat the best team in the league last week that's getting points at the +3 any day of the week. Give me Pittsburgh +3 here on this spot. That's your Sunday night game. We're moving on to Monday night, the last one of the week. We have your Eagles at your Packers, baby. Back-to-back home game for the Packers, but Philly's coming off of a bye here. Philly's coming in at 6-2, and Packers are coming here at 5-2, both at first in the NFC East and first in the NFC North. Philly, they coming off a bye, like I said, the last team they played were the Giants. They got a little bit of revenge on that game, 38-20. And the Packers, they lost at home straight up to the Panthers, 16-13, being 13.5-point favorites. Pretty crazy if you ask me. Are the Panthers for real or the Packers fraud? Who knows? Last time these two teams played was January 12th, 2025, last year, playoffs. Eagles knocked them off 22-10. Covered the 5.5-point spread. You're telling me right now that Eagles are picked by 5.5 points and now they're 2.5-point dogs. The only reason I could see that panning out is because they do have a lot of questionable players on offense and defense right now. I think A.J. Brown's questionable, Saquon Barkley on the offensive side of the ball, and Adoree Jackson, whatever you want to say it, questionable for Eagles as well on defense. On the offensive side of the ball for the Packers, Tucker Kraft went out for that brutal ACL injury. He's going to be done for the year there. So already with the Packers line, that front line is very decimated. And that Philly front, that D front is very nasty. I think the Eagles D line feasts. I don't know why they have the Eagles at dogs here. I mean, if anything, it should just be a pick 'em. The Eagles are 4-1 straight up and against the spread the last 5 meetings versus the Packers. And the total is kind of low here considering we have 2 powerhouse teams and the over's not over 50. I mean, it's close, but it's kind of fishy. I don't really like the total here. I feel like it should be like 51, maybe 52. But it is a primetime spot. I think this is going to be our play of the week. Eagles money line. It's like a +116. Money line dog of the week. Pick of the week. Eagles money line. Let's fucking ride it. Let's ride it till the wheels fall off, baby. So, yeah. We are back and we are killing them. We're going to be back again next week. If you go and like and subscribe the video, it would help a bunch. I seen all the views last week. Let's double those views this week. Let's double the subscriptions this week. Let's double everything. Let's double the wins, baby. We are back and we are getting them. Have a good week. Let's go, baby.